Wipe day. You've logged on early and you're ready to get a head start on everybody else. You head to the first monument you see hoping for a lucky crate, and you're rewarded, a pickaxe. With this, you should be able to pick out your build spot and get something down before anybody else. With your perfect spot selected, you start hoofing your way across the map. Shortly into the journey, you come across the greatest wipe day gift anybody could ask for, a horse to carry you all the way across the map. While riding, you hear a strange sound behind you. You think to yourself, whoa, those guys were flying. I don't know where they're headed, but they'll get there first. Finally, you reach your destination. Thoughts of running launch site, taking Bradley, and living in this prime location are already filling your head. All that fades from your mind once you see where those bikers were headed. Before you even have time to process this disaster, another one occurs. With your wipe day plans in tatters around you, all you can think about is one thing. I wish I had known how fast those bikes were. What's up guys, it's Jazzy here. Don't you wish you were the guys on the motorbikes from the intro and not the horse boy? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you everything I know about the 4 new vehicles being added to Rust so that you can take the most advantage of them. To start us off, let's talk about where you can actually find them. All the new vehicles can spawn in Mining Outpost right next to the forklift, or on the side of Oxum's gas station next to the garage. They have spawns scattered around Junkyard. Each hangar and airfield can spawn a vehicle. Another spot to find them is on the side of Supermarket. Another spawn is outside of Dome by the silos. Like Airfield, Water Treatment has 3 spawns. The first one is underneath this 2-story building. The second is just outside the Water Treatment fuse room. And the third is behind the rolling doors in the fuse room. Train Yard has 1 spawn point on the side of the building with the vehicle overhang. The vehicles can spawn next to the green card room in Satellite Dish, as well as just outside the walls of the largest rad town. And then the last place to find the new vehicles is along the road, but that's only the pedal bikes, not the motorbikes. As you can see, there's a ton of places to find these new vehicles across the island, but only a certain number will spawn at a time based on the size of the map. Now let's dive into some details, starting with the pedal bike. All I need to do is jump on it and get going, no low grade required. The bike has really great acceleration, so you get going in no time. Because the speed isn't too high and it's easy to turn, it handles well both on and off the road. If you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure to subscribe for more content like this in the future. Next, we're going to take a look at the pedal trike. It's almost identical to the pedal bike, so everything I said about that also applies to this vehicle, but it does feel a little bit heavier, and a second person can sit in it. Now let's take a look at the motorbike. Unlike the pedal bikes, the motorbike will require some low grade to get going. But once we get it gassed up, the acceleration is insane and will almost instantly be going close to full speed. Because the motorbike accelerates so quickly, it can be pretty difficult to control around turns when you're going close to top speed. It is pretty manageable once you get a handle on it though. And if you use the brake, you can make pretty sharp turns in the motorbike as well. Even going at almost full speed, you can basically turn on a dime as long as you're using the brake. One of the biggest drawbacks of the motorbike though is its durability. You really only get about 3 crashes before it will actually completely break. Which is why I recommend being fairly careful on roads, and I can't really recommend taking it off-road too much. Last up, we have the sidecar. Just as the pedal bike was to the pedal trike, the the motorbike is to the sidecar. Along with the ability to carry an extra passenger with the sidecar comes a lot more difficulty in making turns. As you get going in the sidecar, you're going to find it a lot harder to move around turns, so make sure that you're keeping that in mind as the road starts to curve. Even though all the new vehicles they added are fairly exposed, every single one of them also has a 10% damage reduction while you're riding it. So that should help make you and any passengers you have feel a little bit better. Next, let's talk about how the speed of the old vehicles compares to the new ones. Starting off as our baseline, classic player running speed is 20 kilometers an hour. Coming in at our second slowest is the zipline with a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Though useful in that you can find them right from the start of the wipe, they don't really give you a lot of choice in the direction you're headed. Up next, we have the pedal bike and pedal trike, both clocking in at a top speed of 55 kilometers per hour. Again, not the fastest vehicles in the game, but without needing any low grade, a very helpful addition right at the start of wipe. After the bikes, we have our first low grade vehicle. Both the 4-mod camper and the 3-mod camper clock in at a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour and use about 5 low grade per minute. Although they're not setting any records, we're not driving these to set records. We're driving them to respawn, re-kit, and clean up fights. In a tie with the campers, we have the work cart train coming in at 60 kilometers per hour and 5 low grade usage per minute. Just ahead of the work cart, the locomotive has a top speed of 70 kilometers an hour, uses 6 low grade per minute, and it's worth noting that both trains give you 50% damage reduction while driving. Tying with the locomotive is the horse with a top speed of 70 kilometers per hour, but they provide a lot more to think about, including food to keep up stamina, armor to reduce damage, horseshoes to increase speed, and even a double saddle to add a second rider. Ahead of the horse, we have the snowmobile with 80 kilometers per hour as its top speed and a gas-guzzling 8.67 low grade per minute, the worst fuel efficiency of any vehicle in the game. Another point to consider with the snowmobile is that their top speed reduces to 15 kilometers per hour on grass, although they do pick up speed once they're on sand. At 80 kilometers per hour and 7.33 low grade usage per minute, the motorbike and the sidecar are two of the fastest vehicles in Rust. Although they share the same top speed as the snowmobile, the motorbike and sidecar are much more versatile vehicles that can be driven almost anywhere on or off the road across the map. The fastest vehicle in Rust is the 2-mod car with a single engine. Coming in at a top speed of 90 kilometers per hour and 6.67 low grade usage per minute, it's a sure bet to get you anywhere you need to be. Technically, the fastest vehicle in Rust is the 4-mod car with 3 engines and a combined cockpit, with a top speed of 140 kilometers per hour and using 25.67 low grade per minute. The reason why it's not on the real list is because not only is it impossible to control on even remotely uneven ground, but it's extremely expensive as well. Thanks so much for watching this far, guys. If you have any questions or any things you want to talk about with the new vehicles, please let me know in the comments below.